Hey guys, it's Terry from the Quarter Acre. How are you doing this morning? It is like 5 a.m. here, and I was getting ready to fold some laundry. I am an early riser. I like to get up and get some stuff done before the kids get up, but I was folding laundry and I was like, wait a minute. I have not made a video about what we do when we have unfinished curriculum at the end of the school year. So I thought I would do that now. We do math and English Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. But this year was a crazy year. So my dad fell and broke his hip. Then we found out he had this tumor on his parathyroid, and he had to have surgery for that. And he's doing phenomenal now. And thank you guys for your sweet messages and comments encouraging him getting well. But it left us a little bit behind. We were in survival mode. Who here has been in survival mode? We've all been there. And so we were doing math and English at best. Happy to say my daughter has completed her English/language arts geography course. That is done. We use Good and Beautiful. She's been done for 2 weeks now, and she completed all the lessons, and she has been enjoying just getting to read from chapter books and write little letters and poems and things, do handwriting stuff. So she's done with that. As far as math goes, she has a little less than a quarter, like a school quarter left in her math book, but it's a 3rd grade math book and she's in 2nd grade. So 1st grade, she finished her 1st grade curriculum by Thanksgiving, then finished her 2nd grade curriculum by the end of the school year, and moved on to her 3rd grade curriculum for both English and math. So the fact that she's not done with her math book does not bother me in the slightest. She's working a whole year ahead right now. So we're going to use that through our last day of school, which is April 30th, and then we're going to put it away for a while. We'll take it out to review. I might make her a few little review packets for over summer, or when she wants to, she can take it out. But I'm okay with a full grade level ahead math book being a little bit incomplete and starting the school year off like that. No problem. So then we get to my son, who, if you remember, went kindergarten through 6th grade in public school. We homeschooled 7th grade, and now we are wrapping up his 8th grade year. So he had an education that looked like Swiss cheese. From the outside, we knew that there were some holes, but once we kind of started slicing into it in homeschool, we realized there was a lot more holes than we could see from the outside. And so we have been plugging up those holes and filling it and not moving on from any one subject area until he has mastered it and or really grasps it. And so it's taking him a little bit longer to complete. So he has probably like 5 lessons left in his English book. We will finish those before the end of the school year. And he has about, I don't know, a 1/3 of a math book left. But it's not the math book I planned on him finishing. He finished his other math book like a month and a half ago. The one that was at grade level, like to get him where he needed to be. But I then bought him a supplemental math book on budgeting. So if we don't finish the budgeting math book, that's okay. If we have a few lessons left, that's fine. He can go ahead and finish that over summer, if, as he needs to be refreshed, just like my daughter. No problem. It actually works out better because then I do have something that they were last studying to kind of put in front of them every few weeks, just a little sheet here or there. I'm thinking about having a math sheet for a half hour of TV type of thing, so that I can feel a little bit less guilty on super hot days when it's too hot to go outside and play. You'd be like, hey guys, you guys could do 2 math pages and get an hour of TV. I think that's what we're going to do there. But as far as our other subjects, so in our homeschool, we also study health, music, history, Spanish, and science. Yeah. Mommy's a bit of an overachiever. So normally we're done with everything by our last day of school. I keep everything in my well-planned gal planner, and it's all down to an art, exactly what we do every day, exactly our schedule. And I check off all my little boxes, and I feel completely complete and done by the end of the school year. Well, I'm going to tell you right now that didn't happen this year with all the chaos that was going on, and I've taken on some new roles and responsibilities in some of the clubs that I'm in, and we just got overwhelmed, and it didn't happen. But that's okay, because a lot of other really cool things happen. A lot of community service projects happen, and a lot of other learning opportunities and field trip days and things like that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take those subjects, the health, not the music. The music we're just going to keep going at our regular music lesson pace, but the health, the history, the Spanish, and the science, we're going to have camps. So we're going to go ahead and do a full-blown summer camp for each one. For health, we're going to do a week of my son and a week of my daughter, each getting their own one-on-one health camp with mom. So I am going to finish out their curriculum. I got some great mental health curriculum and some socialization curriculum. And we're going to go on lots of field trips with friends so we can try out our new social skills that we are learning. And I'm really going to customize it to each of them. What that's going to do is that's going to give each of them exactly what they need, and we'll be able to move through the curriculum really fast and at their level. Since I have an 8th grader and a 2nd grader, sometimes, one's got to slow down for the other, and this way we can just focus in on them, and it gives the other kid like a week off to themselves, if you know what I mean. Like when they are outside doing their thing, they can just do their thing and not accommodate the other person, which is huge. I can plan a bunch of play dates for them with their friends to go and do different things, or with their grandpa or their dad, and the other one can be home with me. And that one-on-one time is so important. So that's how we're going to handle health. For history, we are going to do a full-blown 2-week camp. So we're going to have a colonial day. We were going through Story of the World, hit the Revolution and the Constitution, and I decided, I want to stay here. I ordered the Good and the Beautiful Constitution study, so we are right in the middle of that. I'm going to go ahead and pick that back up for our history, and we're going to do a whole colonial times day. We're going to finish out that Constitution study, and then pick up the Story of the World curriculum and finish it out through the rest of the year. In that 2-week period. And that's all we're going to study for 2 weeks is history. And it's going to be awesome. We can take our time. We can ask more questions. We can do, a lesson or 2 a day and get it all done, but do it in a way more fun way than just trying to cram it all in at the end of the year. For science, we were right in the middle of electricity 2 weeks ago. I just put a pause on it because the electricity unit has a lot of hands-on stuff, and I found myself tempted in the let's keep chugging. We got to get our stuff done by the end of the year. I found myself tempted to just show them the videos. I already ordered the stuff from Amazon to do it, but I was just going to plug them into the TV instead of giving them the hands-on, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I've been excited about this unit. We're going to go ahead and we're going to wait and make this a summer camp. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to finish out our electricity. And then 1 week, and then the next week we're going to really dive in and do a few lessons a day on our chemistry with my son, because that's something I feel like he needs to know going into high school. So we're going to work on that, and that'll be our science camp for the summer, our 2-week science camp. So we'll do 1 week of health for each kid separate. Okay, so that's 2 weeks. We will do 2 weeks of history, 2 weeks of science. That's 6 weeks. Okay? Wait, that's it? It's only 6 weeks. It's pretty awesome. Oh, Spanish. So Spanish is one of those things where I like to take a book and stretch it over 2 years. So we will be reviewing Spanish. We'll have I was toying with the idea of having a Spanish day where we try to speak to each other as much as possible in Spanish. I think that's going to be one of those days when mom is tired of noise. I don't know about you, but there comes a point when we're home together all the time, or like after a long car trip, where we've been like forced into a small space, where I just can't hear any more voices. Like everyone just needs to be a little quieter. Like they're doing this like nonstop. I love my kids. I love the sound of their tiny voices, but sometimes mom just needs quiet. So maybe on those days we will have Spanish days, and we will try to only speak to each other in Spanish to work on our Spanish skills. I think that's a good idea. I just came up with that on the fly. I like it. There you go. When your kids are driving you nuts, Spanish only days. So that's our plan. We're going to have 6 weeks of summer camp and get all caught up, finish everything, start the school year fresh. And yeah, it's amazing to not feel that pressure. I have to keep reminding myself. My son was in public school from kindergarten through 6th grade. He never once completed his curriculum. Never once. He came to move giant holes because the class had to move on. They were chasing the rabbit down the line. You know, I see like all the race dogs, you know, you see those greyhounds and there's like a little rabbit that whizzes by. And so they're all chasing after it, and some of them fall behind and some of them catch up. Nobody ever catches the rabbit. Well, in homeschool, like, they get to catch the rabbit. They get to learn how to take care of the rabbit. They get to nurture the rabbit if they really like rabbits. Now we can get to study rabbits. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing. Like, we can move at their pace. We can complete things. We can complete them on our own time schedule. And we can teach our kids to give themselves some grace. When we had to practically, like, move in with my dad after he broke his hip to care for him, I went and my kids went with me. If I had to drop them off at school, there's no way I could have done it, like, and pick them up. There's no way. And leave him alone, my dad, like, and they got to see what it looked like to care for their parents when they need it. They got to help. My daughter was like, I'm Grandpa's nurse, and she was hands-on the whole time, and it was amazing. And I got to show them that you can't do it all. The world's going to tell you, you can do it all. You can be successful in your social life, in your career, with your family. You can do it all. And if you can't do it all, there's something wrong with you. They got to see firsthand that, no, you can't do it all and do it all 100%. It's impossible. You have to decide what's important to you and focus there. So for a while, our education wasn't the most important thing. Taking care of Grandpa was. And then they got to see, like, okay, so now you took a break. Now we need to readjust. Now we need to get back into it. You don't just, I missed a few days of homeschool, so I'm just behind now, and I'll just always be behind now. No, we put in the work, and we got caught up, and we'll put in the work now, and that it's not a chore, and it's not something that you have to do, and it's not something that you should halfway do. It's something that you should really put thought and effort into your education. And so those are all things that are invaluable lessons to me. So I feel like we are leaps and bounds ahead instead of behind it all. And I hope you found this video helpful. If you have some unfinished curriculum for this year, maybe you can have a summer camp. What subjects are you going to be summer camping? Let me know in the comments section down below. If you are a public school teacher, what do you do when you don't reach the end of the curriculum by the end of the year? One, have you ever? Because I've never had my kids reach the end of their curriculum book and bring home like a completed textbook in public school. So, like, you've got to have some great tips on what to do at the end of the school year. Share them down below. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe to see more videos from me. And I got to get back to the laundry. It is piling up, and talking to you is fun, but it's not getting it done. And the kids will be up in about an hour, and my husband will be up and getting ready for work. And so I hope that you have the very best day, and be blessed. Happy homeschooling.